Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Let's Solve UPSC. I hope you're all doing good. So, the biggest question that comes into the minds of people who could not clear prelims 2024 is, was the prelims 2024 really easy? Or did it look easy because the 2023 prelims was exceptionally hard? Let's look into it. Some things about me first. I had a score of 400 in NEET UG. I have completed my Bachelor of Dental Surgery. I have given two mains, that is the 2023 one and the 2024 one, and right now I am awaiting my mains results of 2024. My previous year mark sheets. I had a decent enough score in GS in the prelims 2023. I managed to clear CSAT at the borderline. I could not clear my 2023 mains because of low score in my optional. Next, before we dig into the 2024 prelims question paper, there are a few essential directives that I must give you. Number 1, newspapers are a must. Whether it be your prelims, your mains, or your interview preparation, newspapers have to be done. Number 2, NCRTs. Even if you don't cover NCRTs from class 6th to 10th, you will have to cover the NCRTs of class 11th and 12th. Why? Because direct questions are coming from NCRTs as we'll look into the paper soon. Number 3, previous year questions. Previous year questions are the most important part of one's preparation because previous year questions help you in solving questions and options both which are being repeated. Number 4, about test series which we'll discuss in the upcoming videos. So, what should be your approach before examination? You should have revised all the subjects through the method of active recall or active retrieval. You should have developed a certain level of MCQ aptitude and logical reasoning. These two things will be discussed in the upcoming videos soon. And number 3, you should have trust on yourself. Next, what should be the approach during the exam day? Do not solve any question in the first 5 minutes. Do not solve any question in the first 5 minutes. Why? Because it will help in absorbing shocks. This year, certain shocks like the factual questions, for example, the question on the book written by our External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. The first 5 minutes will help you in absorbing all these shocks so that your next 115 minutes go well. Number 2, do not go with any preconceived notions like मैं 85 अटेम्प्ट करके आऊँगा, मैं 90 अटेम्प्ट करके आऊँगा. Do not go with any such notions. Number 3, stay calm. Even if it's tough for everyone. आपके अकेले के लिए क्वेश्चन पेपर टफ नहीं आया है. Number 4, start with the subject you are good at. यूपीएससी ने कभी ये नहीं बोला है that you will have to start with question number 1. You can start with any subject that you are good at. So, now let's get into the question paper. So, अब जब मैं पेपर देखूंगा, the first question I see is the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. ठीक है. अब मैं second question देखूंगा कि thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. अब मुझे ये समझ में आ रहा है कि यहाँ पे जो है ज्योग्राफी स्टार्ट हो गई है. तो व्हाट आई डू इज कि मैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 के ऊपर में ऐसे ज्योग्राफी लिख दूंगा. ठीक है. ओके. नेक्स्ट, फोर्थ क्वेश्चन ज्योग्राफी. फिफ्थ क्वेश्चन भी समथिंग अबाउट मैपिंग का क्वेश्चन है. सिक्स्थ क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो अबाउट मैपिंग. सेवेंथ क्वेश्चन रेनफॉल इज वन ऑफ द रीजन्स फॉर वेदरिंग ऑफ रॉक्स, लैंडफॉर्म्स वाला क्वेश्चन. एट्थ क्वेश्चन अबाउट मैपिंग. Ninth question also about mapping, and even the 10th question is regarding mapping. ठीक है. अब नेक्स्ट मैं आगे आऊँगा. 11th क्वेश्चन मैंने देखा अबाउट ग्रीन फील्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स. ठीक है. यू माइट बी थिंकिंग कि इकोनॉमी का है, बट ठीक है. ओके. नेक्स्ट 12th क्वेश्चन अबाउट वाटर वेपर, पार्ट ऑफ ज्योग्राफी. 13th क्वेश्चन annual and daily range of temperatures, this is also geography, right? 14th question about Coriolis force, part of geography. 15th question June 21st है ना, इक्वेटर, ट्रॉपिक ऑफ कैंसर, ऑल पार्ट ऑफ ज्योग्राफी. नेक्स्ट 16th question, following regions has world's largest tropical peatland which holds about 3 years worth of global carbon emissions, right? This is also a part of geography. Up. Next, when I come to question number 17, what I find is with reference to perfluoroalkyl and polyfluoroalkyl substance that are used in making many consumer products, consider the following statements. अब मुझे यहाँ पे क्या दिखा? Second statement पढ़िए. PFAs are not easily degraded in the environment. Persistent exposure to PFAs can lead to bioaccumulation in animal bodies. तो अब मुझे समझ में आया कि यहाँ पे स्टार्ट हो गया है आपका environment, right? So next what I say is question number 18 about parasitoid species, right? Question number 19 about pea family में कौन कौन से plants belong करते हैं. Question number 20 is about the Indian flying fox in the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Okay, next again species cicada, froghopper, pond skater, etc. Next, question number 22, environmental pollution, right? Next, question number 23, countries and animal found in their natural habitats. Okay, question number 24, this can be considered as a miscellaneous question. See, you will find certain questions here and there which won't be exactly related to the subject. Like geography में हमने देखा बीच में एक वो ग्रीन फील्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स वाला क्वेश्चन था. सेम एनवायरनमेंट में हमने देखा ये वर्ल्ड टॉयलेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाला क्वेश्चन आया है. सो बीच बीच में देर विल बी सर्टेन मिसलेनियस क्वेश्चंस, राइट? अगेन सी 25th, lions do not have a particular breeding season, right? Okay. So next, 100 million farmers. Okay, this is also environment. Next, distributed energy resources, right? Part of environment. Next, which one of the following shows a unique relationship with an insect that has co-evolved with it, and that is the only insect that can pollinate this tree, right? Part of environment. Again, poisonous species per question. Again, trees that are actually native to India. Question number 30. ठीक है. Next, अब when I am reading the 31st question, I find radioisotope thermoelectric generators. Okay. Next, when I see question number 32, it is about giant stars. तो अब मुझे क्या समझ में आया? मुझे ये समझ में आया है कि science and tech has started here, right? Okay. So 33 about human body that increases blood flow. Question number 34, use of radars. Question 35 on 5th generation fighter aircrafts. Next, question 36, a question on hydrogels, controlled drug delivery in patients, mobile air conditioning systems, etc. Question 37 on fuel cell electric vehicles. Question 38, pumped storage hydropower. Question 39 on membrane bioreactors. When I see question number 40, what I see is collateral borrowing and lending obligations, that is CBLO. Okay, so next I see here question number 41, total fertility rate, or what we call it as TFR. तो अब मुझे क्या समझ में आया है कि from question number 40 economics has started, right? Question number 42, NBFCs, right? Government securities, stock exchanges, and right now I'm not solving any questions, right? I'm just looking at it. Here it is taking a little bit of time because I have to show you everything, but वहाँ पे आपको ये काम 5 मिनट में करना है, ठीक है? Next, corporate bonds, government securities, economy है. Exchange traded funds, currency swap, also economy. Next, question number 45, a question on sectors, secondary, primary, tertiary, etc. Next, sustainable aviation fuel के लिए what can be used as a feedstock? Okay. Next, question number 47, working capital, fixed capital पे question, ठीक है? Next, अब see, बीच में there is a question of science and tech. Question number 48. Why science and tech? Because it is talking about an interoperable network of 3D virtual worlds, right? So there will be certain questions here and there, as I told you before, from other subjects, right? Next, 49, a question on RBI while treating foreign banks. Next, question number 50, corporate social responsibility. Next, question number 51 on treasury bonds of the US government, right? Question number 52, Syndicated lending spreads the risk of borrower defaults across multiple lenders, part of economy. Next, question number 53 on digital rupee. Up. When I come to question number 54, what I see is with reference to ancient India, Gautam Buddha was generally known by which of the following epithets? अब मुझे समझ में आ गया है कि this is history, right? So, next, see, a miscellaneous question again on the International Cranes Council. Okay, question number 60, latest inclusion in the Intangible Cultural Heritage list of UNESCO. Question number 61, provisional president of the Constituent Assembly before Dr. Rajendra Prasad with reference to Government of India Act of 1935, a part of modern history. Which one of the following is a work attributed to playwright Bhasa? Right? Question number 63. Sangabhuti, an Indian Buddhist monk. Question number 64. Sorry. Next, question number 65. World Heritage List released by UNESCO. Okay. Now, when I come to question number 66, I see as per Article 368 of the Constitution of India, the Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of. Right? So, the next question is again a miscellaneous one on the low birth rates or aging population. Question number 68 on money bill in the Parliament. तो अब मैं क्या करूँगा, क्वेश्चन नंबर 66 से मुझे पता चला है कि पॉलिटी स्टार्ट हो रहा है, राइट. नेक्स्ट, question number 69 on the Indian Defence Forces. Question number 70 on the North-Eastern Council was established by North-Eastern Council Act 1971. Okay. Question number 71 on delimitation commissions. Question number 72 on the amendment of 8th schedule, right. Question number 73 on party and its leader, right. Question number 74 on the parts of the constitution like part 9a, part 18, part 20, etc. Question number 75, a question on state list, union list. Question number 76, question on right to privacy, right. Question number 77 on the duties of Chief of Defence Staff. Question number 78, operations undertaken by the army towards upliftment of the local population in remote areas. Okay, so next, question number 79, longest border between any two countries in the world. Question number 80 about ethics committee in Lok Sabha. Question number 81 on the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam bill. Question number 82 on exercise Mitra Shakti, all part of polity. Next, when we see question number 83, it is on the writ of prohibition. Okay. Question 84 on the declaration of any community as a scheduled tribe. Question number 85 about the union budget. Now, question number 86. This, what I was talking about, the shocks I was talking about before. Questions like this were a major setback for many people, right? Next, now when we see question number 87, it is on Argentina, on Sudan, on Turkey, etc. When we see question number 88, it is of Sumed pipeline, right, connecting the Red Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. So now I get to know that from question number 87, the IR part has been started, right. So now when I come to question number 89, a question on Red Sea, right. Again, see a miscellaneous question, question number 90 on Environmental Protection Agency. Okay. Next, about Sahel region, question number 92, import of apples from United States of America. Question number 93, again polity has started from here, right. Why? Because it is a question on the Speaker of Lok Sabha, right. The question number 94 is on the bill pending in Lok Sabha. So again from question number 93, I'll write polity here. Now question number 95, prorogation of the House by the President. Okay. Question number 96, a question might be on international relations, or we can term it as miscellaneous also. The European Parliament approved the Net Zero Industry Act recently. Now question number 97, a question on Venezuela. Question number 98, Digital India Land Records Modernization Program. question 99 on Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan, and question 100 on Pradhan Mantri Shram Yogi Mandhan Yojana. Okay, so now let's look at the questions one by one. So what I do is I start my paper from polity. Rather than going from question number 1, I prefer to start it by from polity. So let's see question number 68. Now what I'll do here is I'll just do the questions that are easy, okay, that are static, that can be done with logical reasoning. A question that is tough or that I or many other people do not know the answer to, I'll just skip those questions, and at the end we'll see how many questions could we do, right? So let's start. Question number 66. On Article 368, the Constitution of India, Parliament may amend any provision of the Constitution by way of addition, variation, repeal. So, yes, it can be done by all three ways. It is in the Lakshmikant. So, the answer is D. Next, question number 67. Which of the above countries are frequently mentioned in the media for their low birth rates or aging population or declining population? Now, this question can be done by logical guessing. How can it be done? See the options. Italy, a developed nation. Japan, a developed nation. Nigeria, a developing nation. South Korea, a developed nation. And South Africa, kind of in between developing and developed, right? So, now see, Nigeria is a developing nation. It cannot have a low birth rate or a declining population. It will have an increasing population always. So, now if we eliminate Nigeria, so what we get are B and D, sorry, are eliminated, and the option is 1, 2 and 4, right? Next, question 68 on money bill. The first statement, Article 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. Yes, this is correct, given in Lakshmikant. A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. Yes, this is also correct. The Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes but cannot reject it. Yes, that is also true. Amendments to the money bill suggested by Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by Lok Sabha. No, this is not correct, right? So the answer is C. Even if fourth statement को अगर हम लोग skip कर दें, then also we can get the answer easily. So next. Now, this question on Indian Defence Forces, normally we do not study about questions like this. So, I would skip this question. Okay. Next, same question. The North Eastern Council, established by North Eastern Council Act. I did not know the answer to this because I had never studied about the North Eastern Council. I think many of them would have studied, but personally I do not know anything about this question. So, I would skip this one also. Next, question number 71. How many delimitation commissions have been constituted by the Government of India till December 2023? Till December 2023, in Lakshmikant, it is given there are 4 delimitation commissions which have been constituted: 52, 62, 72, and in 82. Right? 1952, 1962, 1972, and in 1982. Next, question number 72. The Constitution 71st Amendment Act 1992 amends the 8th schedule to the Constitution to include which of the following languages? Right. Now, mostly what we do is we do not study this 71st Amendment Act, okay, but we study the 93rd Amendment, which included Bodo, right, Santhali, okay, Dongri, and Maithili. See, we read this, right? Bodo, Dongri, Santhali, and Maithili. So, what happens is, look at the option here, option 4. It is Maithili, right? If we eliminate option 4 from the correct options, see, what we get is A, right? Now, next, this question. 73rd question. See, I do not know about this. I do not know anything about this question. So, I'll just skip it. Okay, next. Question number 74 about parts of the Constitution, right? So, the powers of municipalities are given in part 9A, that is correct. Emergency provisions are given in part 18, that is correct. And the amendment provisions are given in part 20, that is also correct. So, all the three statements are right. Next, about the state list. Which one of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? Interstate trade and commerce is a subject under the state list. Okay. Interstate migration is a subject under the state list. Okay. Interstate quarantine is a union subject under the union list. Okay. Corporation tax is a state subject under the state list. Now, I have some idea about it, but I do not I cannot exactly attempt the question, so I'll just skip it. Okay. Next, question number 76 on under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court of India placed the right to privacy? Yes, we all know about the right to privacy, Article 21. Next, what are the duties of Chief of Defence Staff as the head of Department of Military Affairs? See, now what we can do is, those who prepare for mains will know the answer to this question because we read about border security forces and their mandate. There is a part of the syllabus in GS3. So, and in that we read Chief of Defence Staff. But here, if you do not know the answer to this question, you can do it by logical reasoning. How? Read the first statement. Permanent Chairman of Chiefs of Staff Committee. Okay. Second statement. Exercise military command over the three service chiefs. See, now in the Indian political system, the military command over the service chiefs, it belongs to the Honorable President of India rather than the Chief of Defence Staff. So if you eliminate this second statement, right, we get the option 1 and 3. That is the correct answer. So next, question number 78. Operations undertaken by the army towards upliftment of the local population in remote areas to include addressing of their basic needs. See, I knew the answer to this question. It is Operation Sadbhavna because in the same internal security topic of GS3, we read this scheme. But I know it is not an easy one because those who haven't prepared for mains would not know the answer to this question. So it's okay. I'll just skip it. Next. Question number 79. The longest border between any two countries in the world. It is between Canada and United States of America. Right? Okay. Next. Question number 80. Which of the following statements about the Ethics Committee in Lok Sabha are correct? Okay. Statement 1. Initially, it was an ad hoc committee. Only a member of Lok Sabha can make a complaint relating to unethical conduct of a member of Lok Sabha. Okay. This committee cannot take up any matter which is sub judice. Now, this question, we can do it through logical reasoning. If we see the second statement, what is written here? Only a member of Lok Sabha can make a complaint. Why can only a member of Lok Sabha make a complaint? Why can't a member of Rajya Sabha make a complaint on a member of Lok Sabha if he or she does anything unethical? Right? So, this statement is wrong. And if we eliminate the second statement from the options, we get the answer, that is C. Okay. So, next, question number 81. Consider the following statements regarding Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Okay. The provisions will come into effect from 18th Lok Sabha. This statement is wrong because if you would have studied it from the newspapers, you would have known that the provisions of Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam will come when the next delimitation commission will sit. Okay. Next, the second statement, this will come in force for 15 years after becoming an act. This is correct. And there are provisions for the reservation of seats for scheduled caste women within the quota reserved for scheduled caste. So the option is C, 2 and 3. Okay. Next, question number 82. Which of the following statements about exercise Mitra Shakti are correct? This was a joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. It commenced in Ondh, Pune. Joint response during counter-terrorism operation was goal of this operation. Indian Air Force was a part of this exercise. See, these types of questions mostly we study for the state PCS exams. But here it was not possible to do so. For me, it was not possible to do. That is why I am going to skip this question. Next, A question on a writ of prohibition is an order issued by the Supreme Court or High Court. 2. A direct question, the answer is C, lower court prohibiting continuation of proceedings in a case. Right. Next, 84. It is the governor of the state who recognizes and declares any community of that state as a scheduled tribe. This statement is wrong because it is not the governor, but it is the Honorable President of India who recognizes and declares any community as a scheduled tribe under Article 342. Right? Second statement, a community declared as a scheduled tribe in a state need not be so in another state. This is exactly correct. So the option is B. Next, question number 85. With reference to union budget, consider the following statements. The Union Finance Minister, on behalf of Prime Minister, lays the annual financial statement before both the houses of the Parliament. See what is written? The Union Finance Minister, on behalf of the Prime Minister. But what is the financial function of the President of India? In Lakshmikant, if you see the financial functions of President of India, I guess the first or second statement is he or she causes the annual financial statement to be laid down in the Parliament. Right? So the Union Finance Minister lays the annual financial statement on the behalf of the President rather than the Prime Minister. So this statement is wrong. At the union level, no demand for a grant can be made except on the recommendations of the President of India. Yes, that is true. A demand for a grant is a money bill, right? And money bill cannot be introduced into the Parliament without the recommendation of the President of India. So the answer is B. Now, this question 86, we are going to skip it. Okay. Question number 87. Argentina, worst economic crisis. Sudan, war between countries, regular army and paramilitary forces. Turkey rescinded its membership of NATO. I did not have any idea about this question, so I am just going to skip it. Next. Again, the remaining polity questions. So, with reference to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. While any resolution for the removal of the Speaker of Lok Sabha is under consideration. Statement 1. He or she shall not preside. Okay, this is correct. He or she shall not have the right to speak. Obviously, he will have the right to speak. Right? So, this statement is wrong. If we eliminate second, we get the answer. Right? Even if you see the third statement, he or she shall not be entitled to vote on the resolution in the first instance. It is clearly written in Lakshmikant that the Speaker of Lok Sabha has the right to vote. Yeah, he has the entitlement to vote in the first instance. But the chairman of Rajya Sabha, when his resolution for removal is under consideration, he cannot vote even in the first instance. Right? So, next, question number 94. With reference to the Indian Parliament, consider the following statements. A bill pending in Lok Sabha lapses on its resolution. Yes. A bill passed by Lok Sabha and pending in Rajya Sabha lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. That is also correct. A bill in regard to which the President of India notified his or her intention to summon the houses to a joint sitting lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha. This statement is wrong. So the correct answer is 1 and 2. Next question. Question number 95. With reference to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. Statement 1. Prorogation of a house by the President does not require the advice of the Council of Ministers. The President always has to act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. So this statement is wrong. When we eliminate statement 1, A and B get eliminated and the third statement is correct. So now we see the second statement. Prorogation of a house is generally done after the house is adjourned sine die. But there is no bar to the President of India prorogating the house which is in session. This statement is correct. So the option is C, 2 and 3. Now, the polity part is done. So now what I'll do is I go to the economics part. 1 second. Yeah. Now, when I see the first question, first question of economics, with reference to the Indian economy, collateral borrowing and lending obligations are the instruments of bond market, forex market, money market and stock market. CBLO is clearly given by RBI. It is a part of money market, that is short term financial instruments, right? Next, a question on total fertility rate in an economy. We all know the total fertility rate is defined as the average number of live births a woman would have by the end of her childbearing age. Okay. Next, in India, NBFCs can access the liquidity adjustment facility window of the RBI. Okay. Statement 2. In India, foreign institutional investors can hold government securities. This is true. In India, stock exchanges can offer separate trading platforms for debts. Even this is true. So, now regarding the first statement, in India, NBFCs can access the liquidity adjustment facility window of RBI. Now see, not all type of NBFCs can access the LAF facility of RBI, but a few of them can. Okay, and it is totally on the discretion of RBI whether it allows NBFCs or not. So the answer to this can be either C or it can be either D. In the exam, I marked it as C. Okay. Now, next question number 43. In India, which which of the following can trade in corporate bonds and government securities? Insurance companies, pension funds, retail investors. All three can trade, so the answer is D. Okay. Next, question number 44. Which of the above are considered financial instruments? Exchange traded funds, right? ETFs are a basket of shares, right? So it is a financial instrument. Motor vehicles cannot be a financial instrument, right? Currency swap, yes, it is a financial instrument. So the answer is D, 1 and 3 only. Now, question number 45. See, for this question, you need to know about the sectors. Okay, what does primary sector constitute? What does secondary sector constitute? You need to know about them. Now, अब प्राइमरी सेक्टर में द थिंग्स वी प्रोड्यूस लाइक एग्रीकल्चर और माइनिंग है ना, द मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन दे कम अंडर प्राइमरी सेक्टर. सो स्टोरेज ऑफ एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस, इट इज़ नॉट सेकेंडरी बट इट इज़ एक्चुअली टर्शरी सेक्टर, राइट. प्राइमरी में द मीन्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, ओके. सेकेंडरी में इट इज़ मोर अबाउट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग थिंग्स, है ना, इट इज़ अबाउट प्रोसेसिंग थिंग्स. Tertiary में it is the storage or the service sector which provides services to the primary and the secondary sectors. Okay. Now, dairy farm, yes, production of milk, so primary sector, this is correct. Mineral exploitation, mining, what I told is primary, so this statement is wrong. And weaving cloth, see, production of cotton is primary, but weaving cloth, yeah, manufacturing or processing of that cotton, that is secondary. So this is correct, and the option is only two pairs of the statement are correct. Next, question number 46. Consider the following materials: agricultural residues, corn grain, wastewater treatment sludge, wood mill waste. Which of the above can be used as a feedstock for producing sustainable aviation fuel? Now look at it. Can be, right? Can be used. Now, the option for this, it will be C. Why? Because even if in one place, अगर किसी एक भी जगह पे कॉर्न ग्रेन या एग्रीकल्चरल रेसिड्यू या इनमें से कोई भी ऑप्शन से सस्टेनेबल एविएशन फ्यूल बन रहा होगा, देन दिस होल स्टेटमेंट विल बी करेक्ट, राइट. अगर इसमें से किसी एक भी टेक्निक से सस्टेनेबल एविएशन फ्यूल बन रहा होगा, देन दिस स्टेटमेंट विल बी करेक्ट. सो द ऑप्शन टू दिस हैज़ टू बी सी, right. So next, question number 47. Now for this question, you have to know the difference between working capital and fixed capital. अब working capital is something that gets used up during the process, ठीक है, and a fixed capital is something that remains even after the process is complete. Like for example, statement 1 says farmer's plow is a working capital, but farmer's plow is used in agriculture. Even when the crops are produced and harvested, the farmer's plow is going to be there. So that is, it is a fixed capital, right? A computer is used in a factory, and even after the products are manufactured, the computer is still going to be there. That is why it is called as a fixed capital. Now, statement 3, yarn used by the weaver. This yarn, when it is used by the weaver, after weaving, it will turn into fabric. So this yarn won't be left anymore. the product will be fabric or a cloth. So this is not a fixed capital, but it is a working capital. And petrol, it is being used up during the process, during your commute from one place to another place, it is being used up, that is, it is a working capital. So statement 2 and statement 4 are correct. The answer is B, only 2. Right, next. Which of the following words or phrases is most appropriately used to denote an interoperable network of 3D virtual world that can be accessed simultaneously by millions of users who can exert property rights over virtual items? The answer to this is very simple. It is metaverse. Right? Next, question number 49. With reference to the rule or rules imposed by RBI while treating foreign banks, consider the following statements. Statement 1. There is no minimum capital requirement for the wholly owned banking subsidiaries in India. Okay. For wholly owned banking subsidiaries in India, at least 50% of the board members should be Indian nationals. See, I did not have any idea about these questions, so I skipped this one. Next, question number 50. With reference to CSR in India, consider the following statements. CSR rules specify that expenditures that benefit the company directly or its employees will not be considered as CSR activities. CSR rules do not specify minimum spending on CSR activities. Now, in the CSR rules, there is a clause that the company has to spend at least, I guess, 2 or 3% of the total profit in the past 3 years, right? In CSR, it has to spend that much amount at least. In statement 1, the rules specify that expenditures that benefit the company directly or its employees will not be considered as CSR activity. In CSR, it is actually used for social activities, right? And even if it is doing any social activity, the company will have certain benefit from that, right? It will have certain popularity, it will gain certain popularity, and that will be a benefit for the company. So I mark the answer as 2, right? Because there isn't anything specifically mentioned about this, but still the answer to this I don't know. Okay, now question number 51. If the United States of America were to default on its debt, the holders of US Treasury bonds will not be able to exercise their claims to receive payments. See, this statement is very absurd, right? Obviously, the holders of US Treasury bonds, they should be able to exercise their claims, right? And if statement 1 is incorrect, then the answer to this will be D, right? Next, question number 52. Syndicated lending spreads the risk of borrower default across multiple lenders. That is true. Syndicated lending would mean lending in a group, right? So it spreads the risk of borrower default across multiple lenders. Statement 2. The syndicated loan can be a fixed amount, lump sum of funds, but cannot be a credit line. It can be anything, right? There isn't such specific rules that it cannot be a credit line. So if statement 2 is incorrect, then the answer for this is C. Okay. Next, number 53, about digital rupee. It is a sovereign currency issued by RBI in alignment with its monetary policy. The statement is correct. It appears as a liability on the RBI's balance sheet. That is also correct. It is insured against inflation by its very design. This statement is wrong. It won't be insured against inflation, because if it is insured against inflation, then the RBI would have to give you certain amount of interest on whenever the inflation gets high or low, right? So the third statement is incorrect. Statement 4, it is freely convertible against commercial bank money and cash. Yes, if we eliminate the third statement, all the remaining three statements are correct. Okay, so now we are done with the polity and economy part of this question paper. I'll stop the video here, otherwise it's going to be a very long one. The link to my Telegram channel is in the description box. Do let me know your reviews and doubts about this video in the comment section. Thank you. Have a great day.